Efficiency for the patient would mean that when I came in, you saw me right away and you did it quickly and effectively. If I waited a long time, it wasn't efficient for me, even if it might be for you. So I don't see that there's a conflict between what the patient wants in efficiency and what we want. I think we want the same thing. The same kind of efficiency we want, the patient does too. If by asking that question, however, we're saying that efficiency conflicts with courtesy, I would disagree, because you can be courteous and efficient, both. They're not in conflict. You can be compassionate and caring without taking more time, without doing your job quicker or slower, or it shouldn't slow you down. So I think it's a false assumption that the things that I talk about and the things Don Berwick talks about, which is doing it as much as we can the way the patient wishes we would do it, would make it inefficient for us. I think that that's a false premise, that those two are in conflict. You can create a case for the conflict, but see, at Disney, what I liked about Disney is that they said safety first, courtesy second, impressions show how the place looks, my impressions, how it smells, how it looks, how it feels, third, and last is efficiency. And so the entire organization is focused on safety trumps everything, and courtesy trumps everything else. So if there is a conflict, let's say I'm a housekeeper, I'm mopping the floor here. I have 3 minutes to get this hallway mop. A patient comes up who's lost. I know that the lab, they came in the wrong entrance. They're completely lost. The best thing I can do for the patient is to put up my mop, take them down the hall and say, okay, the lab is just at the end of the hall, and then come back. But see, I lost some efficiency. But see, at Disney, they would say that was not lost because you created value for the patient. And if the patient doesn't take your time, they will take other people's time trying to get there anyway. So it's a false conflict. And so at Disney, they don't think that it's usually in conflict to do the courteous thing. And I don't either, actually. What I like to do is say, give me an example. And then when they give me an example, I can usually show that that's an example of safety. Like, for instance, as an example, do you want the nurse to take the family down to the cafeteria, the bedside nurse? I'd say, no, that becomes a safety issue. We're not talking efficiency now, we're talking safety. So when anybody objects to the paradigm of make courtesy more important than efficiency and give me an example, most of the time it's an example of safety, and you would say, well, of course not. You can't abandon a sick person to help a well person.
Ik denk dat wij in de zorg de afgelopen 50 jaar eigenlijk te veel gefocust zijn op efficiëntie. Daardoor doen we wel de dingen die we moeten doen, maar eigenlijk weet niemand waarom we het nog doen. Ik denk dat met een stuk hoffelijkheid dat je weer de mens terugbrengt in de zorg. De hoffelijkheid kan je terugbrengen onder andere door dat iedereen op gelijkwaardig niveau participeert in de zorg, ook de patiënt. En een van de eerste stappen daarin is dat je allemaal toegang hebt tot dezelfde soort informatie. Dus dat artsen onderling de informatie delen, ook met het personeel, maar ook met de patiënt en de familie, zodat iedereen op gelijkwaardig niveau met elkaar kan communiceren.
So that doesn't really work in healthcare because loyalty means repeat business in business language. Well, we're not looking for repeat business. We hope that when they do the surgery, they never have to come back again. In fact, if it is repeat business, then we are in trouble clinically because we're saying that we're not doing the right thing. So the word loyalty is not associated very good in healthcare because it means repeat business. It also means business of people who will come back to you even if they move a long ways away. That doesn't fit us either. We'll go to the nearest hospital and nearest doctors. So I don't like the word loyalty for us because we're not really in the service business in the same way as other commercial businesses. I prefer simply to have the difference between a promoter, a detractor, and a satisfied person. I like that terminology because I can have one experience and I become a detractor for the rest of my life. I don't like that hospital. I would never send anybody to that hospital. And then I would have a promoter. A promoter says they're really great, but I never go back again because I never need them. So a promoter is not based on repeat business. So I prefer in healthcare to use satisfied, detractor, promoter. And satisfaction is required of everybody. But if you want to go from good to great, you will have to get out of that box of just thinking about what satisfies a person, which is courtesy. We all have to have courtesy. If you don't have courtesy, I will become a detractor. But having courtesy does not make me a promoter. You'll have to do something more for that.